Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so we're talking about 6 tech goals that all real estate professionals should know in 2020. But before we get started with this whole coronavirus thing, I want you to concentrate on your smart devices. Because CDC and doctors are telling you, you need to wash your hands to make sure that you don't pass the coronavirus. Doesn't do you any good if you're putting your clean hands on a filthy phone, does it? No. And I know many of you out there think, well, I already know how to clean my phone, right? I know how to clean my laptop, my tablet. Proper way that you need to do that. I'm going to throw out these 2 quick tech tips on that. So, as you're washing your hands to make sure that you're not spreading the coronavirus, make sure that you do these 2 things with all your smart devices. Number 1, you want to make sure that you disinfect your smart devices. That means your computer, keyboards, your smartphones, and your tablets, because our smart devices are some of the dirtiest items we own. Especially since a lot of us, not me, take our smartphones in the bathroom. Did you know the average smartphone has 18 times more germs than your average public bathroom? Didn't know that, did you? So 2 tips to clean your phone. Number 1, if you want to clean it the old-fashioned way, use a microfiber cloth. And there's a product called Pure and Clean that you can order off the internet to clean it. Because Pure and Clean is a degree or chemical off from bleach. So you may think alcohol wipes and cleaners will do it. Those will ruin your phone. Harsh products, harsh chemicals will ruin your smartphone, your laptops, and your computers. So Pure and Clean or any eco-free or eco-clean surface cleaner will clean your phone with a microfiber cloth. The second, which you probably cannot get anymore, is a product called phone soap. Phone soap was featured on Shark Tank. And phone soap uses UV rays to zap all of those nasty germs off your phones, off your computers and your tablets and credit cards, because think about that. Pass around your credit card when you buy stuff, getting germs on it. So remember those 2 things. Either an eco-friendly product like Pure and Clean, or if you can still get it, phone soap. That'll keep your device nice and clean. So let's move on to our tech goals for 2020. As real estate professionals, we have tech goals, right? We've got goals that we want to achieve. No one really thinks about technology, though. And we all struggle with technology, except for the tech guy, right? I don't struggle. I know it all because I've read all the manuals, right? But it's challenged because technology, there's just so much. You've got computers, you've got smartphones, you've got tablets, you've got all sorts of things that you need to worry about, not along running your real estate business. Because the goal is to make money, right? Obviously. No one in here is doing real estate work charity-wise, are they? No, it's all about the green. It's all about the paper. So we tend to focus on trying to make that paper, and we tend to go lax as far as our technology goals. Because there's so much tech out there, we rarely sit down to think about what tech is going to be the best thing for me to use in my real estate business. So it's very important for you to sit down at least once a year, figure out what goals you want to achieve in your real estate business, and what goals that you want to achieve as far as the technology is concerned. Because what do we got? We got Windows, we got Macintosh, we got Android, we got iPhone. And people are always throwing out their suggestions out there. And what's funny for me, it's always the non-tech people that are always saying, you should go with this. Oh yeah, go with Apple. Apple's easier. Come on. Go with Windows. Windows is easier. You just don't know. So let's start with our goals. So number 1, connect with more people on social media. And I know you're probably tired of hearing about social media, but it's true. I'll let you think about this. Chew on this little tidbit, little nugget. So when you get someone's business card with their email on it, what happens if they change brokerages or if they change jobs? You lose contact with them. But what's the first thing that people do when they get a new job or they have something exciting happen in their career or life? They update it on social media. So think about it. When you're connected to people on social media, you are connected forever, unless you block them, right? But you are connected forever. So there's several ways that you can connect on social media. But the main thing to remember with social media is it's all about relationships. It's not putting your favorite listing up there. It's not about that. It's about creating those relationships, because there's an old saying that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's what it boils down to. I don't care if you're the #1 selling agent in Naples. I don't care how many millions of dollars or billions of dollars in homes and inventory you have. Doesn't matter. All it matters is about the relationships you create with people, and that's what social media is designed for, and that's what you need to do with social media. So, and I've shocked myself, because normally I'm always handing out business cards, and then I'll get up and do a presentation and say, hey, don't hand out business cards. But it's true. You don't want to connect business cards. You want to limit the amount of business cards that you want to connect with. There's easy ways that you can connect on social media, and LinkedIn, Facebook, well, not Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of those have an easy way you can connect with people, and that's through QR codes. We're going to do a cutesy little exercise so that we can all become connected with each other on social media. So, where are my LinkedIn users at? Where are my real estate professionals who have LinkedIn? Open up LinkedIn on your smartphone. We're going to do something pretty darn awesome. Let me know when you get LinkedIn open. There's 2 ways that you can connect non-business card wise on LinkedIn. And I'm picking on LinkedIn because it's probably one of the more popular social media networks right now, along with, say, Instagram and TikTok. But think of how Facebook was 5 years ago. That's how Instagram is now. So let's go to Instagram. So at the main Instagram screen, no, I'm going to Instagram. I'm trying to throw you off. Seeing who's paying attention. That was a goof on my part. All right, LinkedIn. All right. So on LinkedIn on the main screen, what you want to do is at the very top where there's a search window, there's a little QR code thing in search. Do you see it? On the far right. Click on it. What it'll do, if you've got it enabled, it'll bring up your phone's camera. Now, LinkedIn will allow you to do a QR code. So you can either scan someone's QR code or you can generate your own QR code on LinkedIn. Do you see where it says code? Can I get a volunteer to come up so that we can connect? Oh my gosh, come on up. Come on up. Your name is? Yuling. Okay, come on, Yuling. Let's connect. So we're at a business event. Instead of exchanging business cards, we're going to connect on LinkedIn. So Yuling has got her code. Show everyone your code. And I'm going to switch my phone to where it says scan. So there's my phone's camera. So Yuling is going to hold up her QR code. I'm going to put my phone close by, and lo and behold, there is Yuling's contact information. I click on connect, and then it sends her a LinkedIn request, and she accepts, and we're connected. It's that simple. Rather than you having to remember business cards, you can connect on LinkedIn. Now, here's the mind blower right here. Let's say you're at a networking event, or you're networking like we're doing now. Go back to the main LinkedIn home screen. At the very lower left-hand corner, there's an icon that says My Network. Is everyone seeing that? Click on My Network. Once you click on My Network, there's a circle icon with a person and a plus sign. Does everyone have that? Let's click on it. Once you click on that, there should be an option that says Find Nearby Off. I want you to turn that on. Okay, let's go back. All right. My Network. Once you're under My Network, there should be an icon in the lower right-hand corner that has a little plus sign on it. Click on it. So the person circle icon with the person and the plus sign. Once you click on that, you need to click on Find Nearby Off to turn it on. What it does is it uses your phone's Bluetooth to connect with everyone in the room. And as you can see, there are a ton of connections that are popping up on your phone. Now, if you want to connect with people, click on the person on the plus sign next to the connection, and it will send them a LinkedIn friend request. How awesome is that? And the good thing about it is, once you connect with these people on LinkedIn, you are connected forever. Forever. One other quick one we will do, because we only have, 50 minutes to go through and do connections? We're going to do one with Instagram. Instagram has a QR code. Where are my Instagram users at? Many of you professionals using LinkedIn to develop relationships in your real estate business? Yes? Or are you just posting photos for the heck of it? All right. So let's go to Instagram. Under Instagram, in the lower right-hand corner of as you're facing your phone, click on your picture down in the corner. This will take you to the main Instagram screen. Once you get the Instagram, on the main screen in the upper right-hand corner, you want to click on the menu that has lines on it. Under that menu section, there's a thing called name tag. Click on it. That is your Instagram QR code. So can I get who has Instagram that wants to come up and be a volunteer? You're closest, so come on up. Your name, ma'am? Jenny is coming up. We're going to get connected on Instagram forever. Are you sure because this is, permanent commitment. So, once we connect, it's permanent. Okay. So there's two options. So when you have your Instagram name tag, you click on it, or you can go down to the bottom where it says scan a name tag. So you want to scan me? Click on it again. Click on it again.
Oh, again?
Yeah, click on it. You're just slow on it.
My fingers are cold.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So her fingers were cold. We got it. So again, we've got the thing with the QR code. So I've got my code up. Jenny's got her code up, right? So put your phone's camera over. No, turn it the other way. Do it like this. So.
Oh, just scan over there.
Yeah, just scan over it. There you go. So we're connected forever. So those are two quick ways that you can connect with people on social media without having to carry around business cards. So if you're lost, you don't have any business cards, you quickly want to connect to somebody, please utilize those items, and that way you can enhance your connections on social media. Another thing I want to do, we talked about this, on social media. What happened to my mic? Hello, can you hear me? It did disappear, but I have a loud voice, so I'm going to talk like this. So one another thing that you want to do on social media is to make sure that you tag people on social media in your posts. A tag is like a big old hug. And for those who don't know how to do it, you just do the @ sign, type in someone's name. It doesn't matter if you're on Facebook, doesn't matter if you're on Instagram, doesn't matter if you're on LinkedIn. You can tag people in posts just to let them know that you're thinking about them. One last thing as far as social media posts are concerned, on Facebook, on Facebook and LinkedIn, make sure that you take the time to say happy birthday to people. Always, every day. Go on and say happy birthday. It helps build up those connections and helps build those relationships, because that's what it's all about. So let's move on to number 2. What everyone's probably thinking about is cybersecurity. You got to get serious about it, because the problem with many agents is that they think this isn't going to happen to me. I'm not going to get hacked. No one's going to get access to my data because I do everything I need to do to keep myself safe. It's not true. There are agents all across the country that have that mentality that I keep my stuff locked. It's not going to happen to me. And I think part of the problem is real estate transactions and just the whole process of buying and selling a home is pretty darn complicated. It's easy for cyber criminals to intercept wire transfers or to send out scam emails in order to get access to your data and to get access to your buyers and sellers' data. Now, there are several ways that you're going to become a victim of cybercrime. There are phishing scams that are out there that affect everybody. You've got malware that affects people. Now, to go back, phishing scams deal with an email that comes in that looks like it comes from a trusted source. You see it. Like if you shop on Amazon, and who's a big Amazon shopper, right? You would panic if that package wasn't going to show up and you got an email from Amazon, which is pretty prevalent right now, that you've got a problem with your Amazon package. So you freak out. Oh my God, I really wanted that rubble inflatable swimming pool, right? Had you thinking there for a second. Yeah? See? People are laughing, you're busted. So anyway, you're thinking about, I want that. So you click on the email, and next thing you know, you're giving out personal information, and you've been phished and you've been scammed. Next is malware. Malware basically stands for malicious software. Malicious software now comes in the form of browser hijacks, where you get a message on your computer that says, oh my gosh, there's a problem with your internet. Problem with your computer, you need to call this 800 number. So you call, you're freaking out, oh my God, what am I going to do? Got a closing in 2 hours. I got to do something. So you call the number, you get scammed. Because of malware. You allow some malicious software on your computer. Next is the worst, ransomware. Ransomware keeps your data hostage. You get a note on your computer saying, hey, we got your file. You want access to your buyers and sellers, you got to pay us in Bitcoin to the tune of $1,500, or if not more. Those are the threats you have to worry about. There's one more I forgot to mention. It's called credential stuffing. Credential stuffing is basically your information that is on the internet that cyber criminals have access to. And so with them having access to your usernames and passwords, they can start to log into your online accounts. Gmail. I know it probably doesn't matter much in real estate, but Disney Plus account, Netflix, banking account, all of that information can be out there on the web. And so if your credentials are out there, cyber criminals will just stuff your online accounts with your credentials until they get a hit. So you need to really worry about this. But this next nugget that I'm going to share is going to blow your mind. You ready for it? What does that say? More than 99% of cyber attacks require human interaction. So what does that say to you? That means don't respond. But basically it means that all the cyber attacks that you hear, data breaches, oh my gosh, my computer's been hacked, probably because you clicked on something you weren't supposed to click on, right? So you got to take steps in order to make sure you're safe. So this will blow your mind too as far as your devices are concerned. As far as your smartphone is concerned, your laptop, whatever device that you use, it is protected as long as it's up to date from all of the cyber threats out there. 99% of the cyber threats, your devices already have the protection built in. And I'll talk about this a little bit later. Antivirus, all that other extra stuff you add in, you may not necessarily need. So, how do you protect yourself against email phishing scams? Well, there's a website that you can go to and you need to write this down. The website called Have I Been Pwned? I know that's a misspelling of owned. The hacker term that basically means you've been owned. In video games, you've been owned. You want to swap me out? All right, let's swap it. Yeah, you're the one that did that. So I'll talk while I'm being changed. I feel like I'm doing a concert with the wardrobe change, right? Pretty much. So, Have I Been Pwned, and it's just www.haveibeenpwned.com, is a website that will allow you to find out if your email address has been part of a large-scale data breach or not. HaveIBeenPwned.com. That smiley face or the little face you don't put up there. That's just for the heck of it. So if you go to Have I Been Pwned, if you've got your smart device or your computer. Of reach out and touch, or not touch. Reach out and fist bump somebody's hand. You want to avoid the coronavirus, like I can, like the plague, right? Okay. So Have I Been Pwned? If you put your email address in, it will let you know if you've been part of a large-scale data breach. Does anyone put this in to find out if they've been pwned or not? No, because you're afraid to, right? So if you've been pwned, if you go to this website, what you want to do is you want to change out or change any password that's associated with that email address. So like if you've got your brokerage email and you've been pwned, if you've been using that same password for the past 8 years, better change it, because that means it's sitting around on the dark web and some hacker has your credentials and they're trying to log into your online accounts with it. Another great website, make sure your information's not out there, is a website called fightingidentitycrimes.com. Fighting Identity Crimes looks for every data breach that's occurred from 2012 up to 2020. So companies that you may have, and agents, everyone is guilty of this, using your work email to sign up for, say, Amazon, to sign up for different online accounts, which is a no-no. You want to keep your real estate emails for real estate purposes only. You don't want to be using that to log into any online accounts, unless it's like an online email account. But Fighting Identity Crime shows every data breach dating back to 2012. What happens is companies that you aren't even aware of leak your information out there. So you need to find out who's leaking your information out there and how it's finding up on the dark web. So Fighting Identity Crimes will show you which company has been breached, what information was leaked out, and what steps you need to take in order to make sure that you're safe. So when you go to Fighting Identity Crimes, just go to the breaches and hacks section of their website, and you can peruse through all the data breaches and make sure that your information hasn't been leaked. If it's been leaked, you need to follow their instructions, what you need to do to protect yourself, because sometimes the breaches are so severe, especially when names and social security numbers have been leaked, that you need to go through and get identity theft protection. Now, as far as antivirus software, where are my Mac users? Mac users, yes, who hate Windows users. So there's like going to be a war afterwards, right? Antivirus on your Mac is not needed because it is built in. It's called XProtect, but they don't call it XProtect, but that's the official name of it. So if your IT person has said, oh yeah, you've got to install this extra stuff on your Mac, ignore them. It's built in. Usually IT companies that are trying to sell extra protection have a stake in the game as far as getting low residual bonus for pushing antivirus products. But remember, 99% of your cybercrime requires user interaction. As long as you've got XProtect on your Mac, which it's already built in and working, you don't need anything extra. Same thing with Windows users. Who are my Windows users? Yay, Windows. Windows has Windows Defender, and it has it built in since Windows 7. Now, I hope most of you who are using Windows are using Windows 10, I'm assuming, correct? If you're not, you need to upgrade to it. You can still get it for free if you didn't know that. So if you got 7 and you're just like, man, I really don't want to Burton embarrass me and say I've got 7. 7's no longer supported. Now, as far as Mac, I'm going to go back. Mac users need to be using at least Catalina. Everyone upgraded with Macs to Catalina yet? Yes, get it. If you're using El Capitan, it's time for a new Mac. Especially if you're a mobile real estate agent. But Windows Defender. So if you got Norton, Avast, AVG, McAfee, Kaspersky, you can get rid of all that. Use Defender. It's built in, and it works, and it's got ransomware protection built into it. It's a very good antivirus solution to use to make sure that you're protected from the cybersecurity threats that are going on out there. So number 3 is my favorite. Be kind to your data. You're thinking, what does that mean anyway? Something Burton just made up, right? No, actually. Just means that you need to love your devices. But the most important thing about your smart devices is the data. That data is important. Doesn't matter if you've got a shiny new Mac. If you fall victim to ransomware, it's just worthless. Nothing you can really do with it. So you got to be kind to your data, and that means back up your stuff. You got to back up your data. And when I say backup, I should say automatically back up your data. How many people have backed up today? You should be loud and proud with that. Yes, my stuff is backed up. So if I get hit with ransomware or if someone steals my device, I can easily get my buyer and seller data back. How many have backed up? Yes, no. Yes, come on, that should be the way. Automatically. So there are several ways that you can back up your data.
What if you got an NAS device and they hack your data and they give them the back-end database? That's what they're after.
So you would have to go like, you would have to go like high-scale IT. So the question was, what if you have a NAS device? And for those of you that don't know, NAS stands for Network Accessible Storage Device. So basically, it's like a hard drive on steroids, right? That's what it is. So a NAS device is a network-connected device where you can access it within your office or you can access it from in the cloud. But the challenge with ransomware that I did not talk about earlier, ransomware is such a lethal virus that not only will it infect your device, it will also go across the network and infect everyone's device in the office, including a NAS device.
How do you protect it?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting there. All right. So if you have a NAS device, well, you can do external hard drives, which is basically what this gentleman, what's your name, sir? Chris. What Chris is talking about. That's an external hard drive. That's a Seagate, as a matter of fact. But if you have a mobile real estate office, when you're in, how many people have their laptops like right now? How many took out their external hard drives to back up their laptop right now? You did? Oh, most people don't. But notice you're the only one in the room that held their hand up. Most people don't. They're like, man, and then they're gone. And then months pass, something happens to their device, and then you're like, well, I had an external hard drive backup, but it's months old. Then you're looking at the IT guy going, well, why can't you retrieve my data? Because I'm like, that's science fiction. You need to back your stuff up, not have me use my mystical IT powers to recover your data. That ain't happening. And if it can be, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Data recovery, if it's even able to happen, starts at about $700. It can go up to 2,000, or if not higher, depending on the amount of data. So if you got that kind of money to burn, don't back your stuff up. But if you don't, back it up. Now, my solution as far as backing up, to answer Chris's question, is the cloud. Cloud backup is your only safe means of backing up and to make sure that your information is going to be backup secure. And I know there's people in here saying, man, I don't want my stuff in the cloud. It's not safe. Trust me.
Couldn't anybody access it?
No, they cannot.
The government?
Well, you know, if the government takes over. But it depends on the company, though. Now, think about that. I was going to say, think about that. Now, remember the San Bernardino deal with the people and their smartphones, and the government tried to get into the phones, and Apple said what? No, we are not giving you the encryption codes for you to break into our devices. So that's why I said it depends on the company. The government finally did find someone to get into that device, but it took a lot of work to get into it. So most companies have that disclosure that we're going to protect your data at all costs. So yes, for most intents and purposes, unless you go out and create a terrorist act, they're not going to access your data. Yes, Chris?
But you know, that's the reason why I got the NAS device, because I found that cloud services corrupt your data. I mean, you know, they don't all, not pristine, and they're not responsible for it once you try to back it down, restore it. And so I don't, and that's exactly why I got the NAS solution. And that's all I can say is back up your NAS solution and keep it away from the cloud. Otherwise, if you have it in the cloud, in my opinion, this is my opinion, you really have no support. There's no cloud engineer up there in the sky, over at Apple or anywhere else, that's going to help you out. And if you lose your data, there's nobody that can do anything for you. So I'm not a fan of the cloud. I'm my own personal cloud, yes, but I'm not a fan of any of these cloud services. But I understand what you're saying. It's a redundant backup storage. Trust me.
I appreciate Chris's point, and the answer to a quick thing to what Chris said, just in case you didn't hear him, I don't trust the cloud. He rather has his own cloud storage backup system in his office, which is not a bad thing as long as you have the aptitude to make sure that you're backing up your cloud device in the network. But the challenge is, again, if you get ransomware in your office, it's going to get that NAS and it's going to get that external hard drive. Now, as an active IT person, meaning that I still go out in the field and I work on computers on a regular basis, it's been our experience, and I'll tell you the two companies we work with as far as cloud backup storage is concerned. We've had customers have catastrophic data loss. In all instances, if they had a cloud backup service, they were able to restore all their data with no problem. And it happened without our interaction. We were able to call the cloud company, they restored the data, and we're like, we're heroes. Even though we didn't do it, we recommended them to the right company.
Did they charge you for that?
Well, of course. Now, there's no such thing as free cloud backup. There's a difference. Yes, sir. Yes! I love you. What's your name, sir? Excuse me? Fred? Fred is my new hero. Fred said, what about a company like Carbonite? Carbonite is probably one of the best online backup services in the globe. They have engineers that are standing by 24/7 that will restore your data for you if you lose it. Fred, have you had an issue with catastrophic loss with Carbonite? Okay. Trust me. If you use Carbonite, write this down. It's carbonite.com. For those who don't know, well, I'm going to ask to see who the nerd is in the room. CAR. I've got it on the slide. So what is the significance of Carbonite in the Star Wars realm? Anyone? Well, that's not Star Wars, but yes, that's backup. Okay, yes. Yes! Carbonite. When you see that picture of Han Solo, like, that's Carbonite. And think about it. Han Solo made it safely to Jabba the Hutt, and he stayed as a decoration for 6 months. So it preserved Han perfectly. In fact, he's like, where am I when he woke up? So there's differences with cloud backup services. This is cloud storage. So if you're saving your stuff to Dropbox or to Google, it's cloud storage. The whole purpose is for you to be able to access it from anywhere in the world. It's not intended for backup purposes. Not intended. So yeah, if you want to access your files in the cloud, yeah, save them to Dropbox or Carbonite. All of these services are encrypted, meaning that if your information is stored on iCloud or whatever, it's encrypted. So unless you have a weak password, they're not going to be able to access that data. But if you do have a weak password, they're going to be able to access your data. Now, there it is, Carbonite. And there's another service called Backblaze, and I'll go back. So there's Carbonite and Backblaze, which offer online, secure, cloud backup services. And when I say secure, is anyone in here familiar with HIPAA laws in the medical industry? Trust me, if you've got a company that's saying that they're HIPAA compliant, they're trustworthy. The other thing with Carbonite, too, is Carbonite have servers all across the globe. So if one server gets zapped, there's probably 12 more that will pop up in its place and allow you to restore your data. Yes, Fred.
Another side of using Carbonite, whenever I dump an old computer and want to pick up a new computer, I can automatically reload everything on the new computer.
That is exactly right. So the statement that Fred made is that if you use Carbonite, when you get a new device, all you do is set up your device, put your Carbonite account on your new computer, and it will automatically restore all of your files to your new computer. It's almost equivalent to when you get a new Apple device. You get a new Apple device, you put your account credentials in, it'll just dump all your stuff on your new device. But Carbonite and Backblaze are two good services to use. They're trustworthy companies. If you're wanting to use cloud services that are reputable and that are secure, these are the services that you want to go with. So number 4, we're talking about passwords and keeping your online accounts secure. I hope no one's using that password, correct? I used to, years ago, but not anymore in this day of cybercrime. The new password that you want to use is called a passphrase. Anyone using passphrases for passwords? There's like 2 people. Sir, your name? Rick. I'm not going to, well, yeah, what is your passphrase?
It's an easy phrase that I can remember when I'm typing in this.
I like that. So, Rick, right, said, it's an easy phrase that you can remember when you type in your password. That's a passphrase. So a passphrase that I use, and I always hope that someone uses this so I can look into their stuff later, is stinky chicken. Stinky chicken. That's a passphrase. Green giraffe. Purple turtle. Pink squirrel. Now, I will tell you one passphrase not to use is black squirrel. You know why? Because the wife where my town is from, Marysville, Kansas, is home to the black squirrel. So that's kind of a popular and a true animal out there. So I'm warning you, don't use it because some hacker could probably figure that out, especially if they figure out that you're around about that area or from Kansas. That may be one of the words that they use. You could use black giraffe or any combination of words, but a passphrase actually is going to be more secure than your standard password, because here's what happens. When you use your standard passwords, you are always going to fall into that old human habit of using words that are familiar to you. So you're going to use like your birth date or your wedding anniversary or your kid's name or your kid's birthday. And the problem with that is that it's open on the internet. So, and I think I have a slide for this, but one of the things that you want to do is to become a cyber liar when it comes to your passwords. A cyber liar is somebody who lies about their secure login password reset information. So you don't have to put your realistic birth date in there because you're already posting that on social media. So cyber criminals are always gathering information about you to figure out what does this person do, what do they like, what do they love. So if you become a cyber liar and start putting false information in your password reset questions, like what is your mother's maiden name? Well, think about it. If you're on social media, ladies, and some gents out there that maybe changed their name when they got married, possible. Your maiden name's out there. Your mother's maiden name's out there. Same thing with naming your kids. They're on social media. So use passphrases. Passphrases are easy to remember, and it's secure. And it helps you come up with different passphrases or passwords for all your online accounts, which leads me to the next slide, Password Keeper. There's several out there. Everyone's heard of LastPass, I'm assuming at this point, right? LastPass, LastPass, LastPass.com. It's a password keeper program that allows you to store all the different passwords that you have for all of your online accounts. But I say do one better. How many people use Chrome as a browser? How about Firefox? You use Chrome. I use Chrome too. We're connected. How about Microsoft Edge or Safari? All of your popular browsers have password information savers built into it. Some people say, well, this is not as secure. Well, as long as you're using a strong password, anything is secure. So if you're tempted to save your passwords in your browser when you use your computer, do it. Because using your password save information in your browser and you're using different passwords for all of your online accounts is better than you using the same password for all of your online accounts. Because cyber criminals count on that. I know personally of a lady who Uber account got broke into. So she wasn't worried because it's just Uber, right? Then her Bank of America account got broke into. So she's like, oh, it must have been the Uber driver. I'm like, no. I said, so what password do you use for your Uber account? So she told me, which I was shocked. And then she said, I said, well, you're using the same password for Bank of America? She's like, yeah, of course. Duh. So I got hacked. So anyway, use different passwords for all of your online accounts, and at the very least, save your passwords in your browser. That way, you can have all of your different passwords accessible. Because you need to make sure that you have different online accounts or different passwords for all of your online accounts. And for the love of God, let me do my William Shatner. I love doing this. Scotty, for the love of God. Scotty, please use two-factor authentication for all of your online accounts. For those who don't know, some hacker logs into your account and says, hey, I'm going to get access to this account. But it sends you a text alert on your phone that says, are you in Addis Ababa, Saudi Arabia, trying to access your Facebook account or your Google account? If you say no, then they don't get access to that account. Because the challenge is that a lot of your information is out there on the dark web. You want to put and implement steps that are going to allow that information not to be accessed. So two-factor authentication on all of your accounts, all of them. And some more for you mobile real estate folks. How many of you work mobile? Yes. Everything's mobile. You got to be. So encryption, data encryption, you got to have it. Got to have it. Because if you're working mobile, you don't want people to get access to your buyers and seller data or your personal data. Data encryption on your smartphones is pretty darn simple. All you have to do is put a password on your smartphone and that information is encrypted. So if you lose your phone, other than some government hiring some hacker, which I'm sure was some ex-Apple employee that was able to get into that iPhone. Same thing with Android. Just put a password on your phone and the data is encrypted. As far as your computers are concerned, Mac users have File Locker built into it. So if you have a Mac and you work mobile, you want to enable this option. Have a slide for that? No, I don't. Windows users, you need to use Windows 10 Professional, which has BitLocker in it. BitLocker encrypts your data, and to make you understand the difference between just putting a regular password on your device versus data encryption. So over the holidays, how many of you are forced to do the 5,000-piece puzzle at the in-laws? I'm the only one that has to suffer through this hell, I'm assuming. Has anyone put together a 5,000-piece puzzle?
Oh, yeah, that's going to take you the whole week.
So imagine you've got the puzzle box and you throw it out all over the floor. That's what happens when you encrypt your data. Criminals see that information and they have to put all the pieces together to get access to your stuff. That's what happens when your data is encrypted. It's scrambled up so hackers can't get access to that information. So encrypt all your devices, especially if you're working mobile. Wi-Fi hotspots. Use them, don't use them? Yes, no, no. I see a shaking head back there. I will tell you this, as far as your cellular data is concerned, when you're transmitting data back and forth, it is going to be the most secured connection out there. So if you have a hotspot on your phone, or if you have a rocket pack like this one shown up here, that is the most secure way to send data back and forth when you're doing real estate transactions. And if you're mobile, if you're in your own office Wi-Fi or at home, it's going to be secure. But if you're out at the library, hanging out at Starbucks or wherever, use a mobile hotspot. It'll keep your data secure. VPN. Let's say you're too cheap. You don't want to buy a hotspot. You don't want one more device to buy. You can use a VPN to keep that data secured, which stands for Virtual Private Network. Yes, I have a question. What VPN service are you using? So the statement was she has VPN, but she has trouble using it. Express VPN. So luckily that's not on my list of recommended VPN services out there. Or else I was going to take the mic off and be like, I'm done. So there's two services that I recommend for VPN services. The first one, there's four. So the first one is NordVPN, N-O-R-D VPN. Now the first two that I mentioned require a monthly fee. So Nord is like $5 to $10 a month. But basically you would turn your VPN if you had to go to the library or Starbucks to do transactions that are secured. The next one I love doing because I get to act it out. So the second one is called Tunnel Bear, right? So it was like Tunnel Bear, and I'm like, yeah, tunnel, and then bear, grrr, So Tunnel Bear works on every device. So does Nord. And it's about the same amount of money a month for data services. So Nord VPN and Tunnel Bear VPN are probably some of the best and easiest ones to use. Now, the two free ones, you're going to flip your lid when I tell you. If it's web-based, like you want to check email, like your Google Web or any of that stuff, you can use Firefox. Where are my Firefox users? Firefox has a VPN built into it. Yes. So all you have to do is open up Firefox. If you're doing anything web-based, you flip the switch, the VPN, and you're secure. The next one, and I know no one has this. I'll jump up and down if you have this web browser. There's a web browser called Opera. Who's using Opera as a web browser? Nuh-uh. You are not. You are? That's awesome. Do you use the VPN in Opera? I didn't know it had a VPN. Yes, it has a VPN built into it. Opera, which is free, has a VPN built into it. You do is flip the switch, VPN mode. And the good thing about Opera's VPN, you can pretend you're in the States or you can pretend you're over in Europe. But it will keep your data secure as long as you're in a browser to make sure that no one can see your information out there. And I went backwards. How about that? So number 5 is show your devices some love. Oh, we got a question. Yes, ma'am. Well, the question was I have a vast VPN, and I can't access anything when it's turned on. So what the heck am I using that for? Well, the answer is you shouldn't be using Avast anything at all. Yeah, get rid of it. Avast is horrible. It's like malware. Avast antivirus is horrible. If anyone's using it, take it off now. Yeah, it's bad. Yes, there's a hand. You take it off, you're taking it off. Enable the file locker on your Mac. If you're a mobile real estate professional, enable file locker on your Mac to make sure that file locker. But Avast is horrible. That's why you're having problems with it. Yes, Avast is junk. And that's the nicest clean thing I can say about Avast. So you're going to make me go back a few slides because we already had this discussion about the Windows Defender. So for VPN, you need to use either Tunnel Bear or NordVPN. Or use Opera. Yes, Opera. Or what was the last one? Oh, people are listening. Yes. There you go. All right. There you go. That's what you want to use. Take that Avast off immediately. So, yeah, show your devices some love. It means update your stuff. Update your software. The updates you get on your phone, got to download them. You know why? There's a bug bounty out. A bug bounty. Meaning that software companies to challenge the hacker community and say, look, If you can break into this software, we've got, let me do it right, $1 million. Seriously, they do this. And so what hackers will do is try to find vulnerabilities in software and hardware. And if they get it, they get the bounty. And you get the bonus in a software update. So when you get that software update on your phone or on your computer, download it. Because that means it's a known vulnerability within that device. You got to update it immediately. Yes, sir. No, if you have a cell phone, well, the only reason you want to use a VPN on your cell phone, especially if you're on your cellular data network, if you're doing something you really shouldn't be doing, like downloading pirated movies or, going to sites that you don't want your cable company to know that you're doing. Because a lot of pirate video companies will say, yeah, use a VPN if you're connected to your ISP or your phone company. So that would only be the real reason. But if you're doing real estate transactions with your hotspot or on your phone and you're not connected to Wi-Fi, then it's secure and safe. So update it. So again, Windows 10, you got to have it if you're a real estate professional. Windows 10 Professional is preferred because it's got BitLocker encryption built into it. Mac users, Catalina, not only because of the beautiful picture of the Catalina Islands, but it's the most current version of Mac OS. Number 6, everyone's going to love this one. Update or use live video. But one thing I was going to say as far as updating your software, I hate to say this. As far as Office-based software, might be a good idea to get Office 365 from Microsoft, or you can use Google Docs in your real estate business. But obviously, Google software is going to update itself automatically. If you're using Microsoft products, you want to make sure that you aren't going to get ransomware or malware using an outdated version of Microsoft Word. So I would recommend going with Office 365. The bonus is you get 1 terabyte of data to store to the cloud, not to use as backup, but to store to the cloud. And going backwards, I forgot to ask, how many of my real estate professionals out in the audience are using Google Photos? Yep. Google Photos. And I know as far as videos are concerned, and this kind of has the thing to do with it, Google Photos offers you, for free, unlimited backup of your data, photos, and your videos. All you need is a Gmail account. Automatically back it up. So if you've got a smartphone and it's getting full of photos, download Google Photos. I have a question.
I use GoDaddy for the Office 365 for the 1 terabyte of backup storage.
Yeah.
But they told me a component of that is that they continually back it up. Now, is that misinformation?
From GoDaddy? GoDaddy may be doing it because they're offering it as a service. That's through GoDaddy, not through Microsoft. If you just have the standard Office 365, you have to copy your stuff to OneDrive in order to get your stuff. But that backup that GoDaddy's doing is, it may be, you better call and find out, and you better try to restore a file. And I will say this, any service that you're using for backup, go through the process of trying to restore that file off of the cloud or wherever to make sure that your backup is going to work. Don't wait till something catastrophic happens to test your backup. So check out GoDaddy and make sure that you can retrieve a file. So embracing video, which we're doing now, you got to have video in real estate. You're going to say don't do it, right, ma'am? Yes.
The only thing with Google Photos is you have to, once you get so full, you have to lower the
Resolution of the photos.
to get that
Unlimited, right.
for free.
But for most people, if you're not publishing a magazine, the high-res photos are going to be good enough. But that is true. If you want to do the high-res photos, you only get 15 gigabytes worth of free data, then you have to pay pennies on the dollar for more backup. But if you want the free stuff, then you do have to do high-res, but high-res that's a high-res photo. So live video, you got to do it. There's Facebook Live, YouTube Live. What else we got? Periscope. We got IGTV. Live video, the reason I'm highlighting all this stuff, and there's LinkedIn, which you have to sign up for. But live video goes at least 7 to 15 times more people on social media than just your standard post. So you got to go live. You got to go live because live video helps endear yourself to the people out there. I know as professionals, you're like, man, I hear this all the time about I got to do live videos. What can I do? Well, a good live video is just like, has anyone pulled their phone out to like do Burton Kelso live? I know it's on me, but it's also you like, hey, You could do it like this. Hey, either this video is going to go like this. Man, I'm learning some awesome tech tips at the tech conference from Burton, Kelso. Or the flip side, man, this guy up here sucks. Listen to this joker up here talk. It's a live video. It's going to go out to more of your followers, and it's going to help embrace people to you and connect with you and get to know, like you, and trust you. If you do an open house, go to your open house and say, hey, we're at an open house. I'm here today, or I'm doing an open house. Do a live video intro of yourself as a real estate professional just to let people know who you are. Another thing you can do as far as live videos are concerned, find an influencer or a business owner in the area or a homeowner that went through a struggle buying or selling a house. Let them tell their story on live video. People love success stories. I almost called it a sob story, but it's a success story. Well, no, you don't want it to be a sob story where they're just like, oh man, and I lost everything. That's not going to do you any good. You want it where they rose from the ashes and became successful, and they were able to realize the dream of owning a home. It depends on what angle you focus on as a real estate professional. There's many things that you can do live videos of. I know there's a real estate agent that I work with in the Kansas City area. She does a podcast every week focusing on different tips and tricks to help everyday people buy and sell a home. You could do the same thing too. I do a tip video, and I can tell you as a non-real estate professional that anything that you can share with me that involves my home, I'm going to embrace. So if you're telling me videos on curb appeal, if you're telling me videos that are going to help me prepare meals better for my family, what I should do with that flower bed in my house, what should I do about my front door, any information that you can share with people and you can do it live is going to help boost your business. It's going to help boost your brand, and it's going to build trust as far as your real estate brand is concerned. And it's not hard to do live video because all of you have the best cameras in the world, and the apps are installed on your phones. So all of you probably have the YouTube app. All of you have Facebook on your phones. All of you have Twitter. All of you have the ability to instantly do a live video to connect with your buyers and sellers. So do it. Do it because it's important. And do it because if you don't like the way you look or the way you sound, the people that you're already connected with on social media do. That's why they connected with you. So why not personalize that journey through video and grow your connections and get people to know, like you, and trust you. Now, when you get to the level that I am, there is a possibility for you to use Restream.io from your home or office computer that will allow you to stream your videos to all, or live stream your videos to all of the online services except for Instagram at the same time. Restream.io. No, that is you. I'm in front of my webcam, in front of my home or office computer. I go to Restream and I'm like, hey everyone, and it simultaneously will send it out all over all streaming platforms. Doesn't matter if it's live. You can goof up doing a live video. Doesn't matter. But you want a captivating audience, and you want to say things that are going to build your followers on social media. So it doesn't matter what you do live, but informative videos, behind-the-scene videos, are the things that are going to get people engaged with you. And remember, your live videos are going to go out to a further audience on social media. Because I know someone in here has at least seen this once today. So-and-so is going live. You get that alert on your social media channels, right? That's how the algorithm works on social media. It sends it out to everybody because they want you to use live video. Yes, ma'am.
On one of my YouTube, okay, so on YouTube they require you to have 1,000 followers to go live.
They do?
It might depend on what kind of channel you have.
No, that is not true. You know why? Because I hate to say it, I don't have 1,000 followers on YouTube.
To go live?
To go live, yes, because I have the live option to go up there.
So is it a business account or is it?
No, it's just a regular YouTube account. I'll have to look at yours, you know? So, I mean, it doesn't matter because I have a free, well, I take that back. I do have Google Plus for business. So maybe since I have Google Plus, Maybe that's why I can go live as opposed to you. Now, I know for a fact that TikTok, you do have to have 1,000 followers in order to go live. But video, regardless, does not matter. Do it. It will connect you with more people. Yes?
Google says that you can go live on YouTube on your computer or the mobile app, but only those with at least 1,000 subscribers can use the mobile version.
Ah. I was about to say, because I normally stream live from my computer, so I'm like, I can do it. I don't have 1,000 followers. I kind of feel bad. But now we know, yes. Thank you, Dr. Google. Yeah, but you can do it from your computer, which is just as important. So to sum things up as far as tech goals for 2020, technology changes at the speed of light. But it's important for you to figure out what you want to do with your technology and how you can better embrace technology to make you more money and to help technology make your life easier. So with that said, I will be around for a little bit if you've got questions, but if you want to follow me on social media, that's me. I love technology. I want to make it fun and exciting for everybody. So any questions? Thank you very much.